Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Road to Wrestling School, the HOV to the HOP. HOP, of course, standing for the House of Pain, Neil Superior Professional Wrestling Training Center in beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. I'm Grizzly Joe Grasso.
And I'm Hamish Stewart.
We are two up-and-coming wrestling trainees on our way to wrestling school, and we're going to let you listen in on the conversation. How you doing this week, Hamish?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Doing okay. Kind of scaling back a little bit on workouts. Got a few tips from some notable people. So they said, "Hey, you're doing too much."
That's great. I've gotten such comments that we begin every podcast with your nonsense rants about fitness.
Sorry. That makes me happy.
I'm so glad it makes you happy. You are literally killing our audience.
No, I'm not.
They're dying.
No, I'm not.
Those of us without fitness in the mind, they're dying. They're switching off their pods. But by all means, tell me how much you squat this week.
How was your week, Joe?
How was my week? Well, last night I upped my weights a little, and now I'm benching a little more because I'm like, hey, this
nice.
These 55 pounds, this doesn't doing much anymore. Let me up it,
Joe. That's great.
See, I've never hit my max. I've never felt confident enough to
max out.
We should probably figure, because I don't want to do it without somebody there to be like, hey, let's try this.
Yeah, let's
and
max
be it
out
safely. Max out. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't want to talk about fitness, which I love, I could talk about a few other things. I have two choreography gigs kind of came to me. One by way of somebody falling out. Two, I don't get them straight off. Two people fell out. One for Dangerous Liaisons in Baltimore at Spotlighters, opening May 27th. And then one for Superior Donuts up in Frederick at the Met.
You booked
May
that.
27th as well. Thank you to my good friend Grizzly Joe Grasso.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir. That is a hell of a drive for me, and I'm glad that you could take that gig.
Passing that along to me, which opens up what I would like to talk about, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I've been doing fight choreography and fighting. Let's just say I've been stage fighting for 19 years.
That's a lot of time, brother.
A lot of time. Not in SAF, not totally in SAFD stuff or the Society of American Fight Directors, or underneath, in and outside of Renaissance fairs and doing it here and there, and some SAFD stuff, some certified stuff, some other things. But what happens is, so now I'm starting to get calls to do gigs. I did some choreography last year that got some notoriety in a small circle of theaters, and now it's kind of leaking out. So, okay, great. Hey, I'd love you to come choreograph this, let you do this. Oh, that sounds great. It sounds like a lot of fun. But I get there, and this overwhelming feeling that I'm a fraud.
Oh, yes.
Comes over me. That I'm not good enough. Oh my God, I'm going to put this together. It's going to suck. What if it sucks? What if I step in quicksand as if and I feel like one of these shows I'm in it right now because I was oh God, there's so much pressure on these things. It's that fights are such a pivotal moment in plays. It's normally the height of the action.
Yes.
Is when it spills over for these things, and these are big. So I get really nervous that. I'm a fraud. Other people could be doing this better. Why didn't they call them? Why am I the one that's doing this? Is this enough? Am I teaching it right? Is these people going to know it? And this bleeds over into how I feel a lot about my journey through pro wrestling. So all during the week, I get really jazzed up. I'm oh man, I'm so excited. I'm going to go up there. I watch my videos from last week. I try to fill my head with some ideas, okay, so if I get stuck, I do this, I get stuck, I do this. And then as soon as the music plays and I'm walking down there, total fear. Totally just filled with fear, total fraud. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I get caught up in, well, I just kick now, or just do this. And then I'm and then it's ineffective.
Well, let me lay your wonders and fears to rest. You are a fraud.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
you don't have to wonder anymore. You are. We all are frauds in some way. We, while we're in the process of learning, we never feel like we're quite there, and that's a healthy place to be. When you've come to the end of your learning, you have failed.
Right, yeah.
That's it. I mean, you've always got to be learning. Like, the best teachers are people who are still learning. So, to feel like a fraud, I think is a healthy place to be when you are starting to teach someone or starting to choreograph or even going into pro wrestling, because then you still have more to learn, which is so healthy. You should never stop being a student. So, yes, you're a goddamn fraud, Mike.
Yeah, and
Hamish, whatever your name
would you
is.
please kayfabe my name? I don't want people to know. Oh,
I was talking to our sound engineer, Mike, in the back.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
He's in your trunk. Hey, Mike.
Oh, good. I think he kidnapped Ryan because he found him on his FetLife account.
Oh, Big Daddy Rai, yeah.
Oh, he apparently
that's his sub.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. And
they're in a leather family together.
And by sub you mean not substitute.
No, I do not.
Oh, I thought you meant what you meant.
No, in fact, I do not.
He was substituting for him.
You see, in a sadomasochistic relationship, there is a dom and a sub. So I'm told.
A dom, like as in DeLuise, or dom?
Yeah, let's call it a dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise. Oh, no, when he gets in the car next week, we're going to ask him.
Oh, okay, we'll save this conversation for him. It'll be nothing but that. Great.
That's
awesome.
right. Are you a substitute or a dom DeLuise? Let's see what he says.
This is beautiful. Okay, we'll save that. Sorry, everyone. You got to wait till next week for that conversation.
That's right, yeah. But, okay, back to the fraudulent
Back to you being
stuff.
a fraud.
Yeah, and I'll get off this real quick, but so you're right. There is that moment. You're learning, and I have this mantra that I say in myself. Fake it till you make it.
Yes.
Even if you're faking it, come with a lot of conviction, a lot of enthusiasm. Come with a lot of the gumption for it. And at least you fake it till you make it, and then once you get comfortable in that, then you start to bridge out. My only thing about, and I'll stick to the wrestling because it's a wrestling podcast.
It is.
Is that, I know for sure I can do a lot more things than what I'd call in the ring.
Yes, I feel the same way. Like, we know more, but there's this trepidation.
Yeah, and there's, I'll be, and it'll happen tonight. I'll be in a match with somebody. I'll get into a section and I'll be like, man, do you know it would rock right here? A suplex combo into an elbow, into some head pounds.
Sure.
And then I'm like, God, am I gonna do that? Am I gonna screw it up so bad that it's gonna be immediately like, what are you doing? That's not great. But I shouldn't feel that pressure. If I fail, so what? We just stop and we just do. We
got to give ourselves permission to fail. That's why we're doing these matches. That's why we're still training.
Yeah, and I think that's what.
It's so hard.
Yeah, and I want to walk in and I want to just rock every moment. But I got to realize, look, you should just go in there and just suck, and who cares?
Right.
I shouldn't care because I'm not going anywhere with this.
It's when you don't care that you're going to do your best.
Right.
So stop caring
and
have fun.
Right.
Well, we've said that's from podcast 1.
I know, but every time.
We're on podcast 6 now.
That's right. This is going to come out actually in August. So
yeah. Watch out. Speaking of until August,
I was about to transition.
That's
into
right.
That.
We are part of a show, as everyone knows, Renaissance Rumble, which is a Renaissance-themed, professional wrestling-themed
stunt show.
Yes. Check us out at the Maryland Renaissance Festival this season.
Or find us on the internets.
The interwebs.
At www.renaissancerumble.com. Or find us on Facebook at Renaissance Rumble at Facebook.com.
And if you can't wait till then, we are teaching a workshop, an Intro to Pro Wrestling Actors Workshop Intensive. Starting at the end of May and going till June, it'll be Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., come check us out.
You'll be down at the University of Maryland.
Yeah, University of Maryland.
So you'll be down at the beautiful CSPAC, the Cleary Smith Performing Arts Center.
Oh, it's a beautiful center.
We'll go in there. We'll teach you the history of the business. We'll teach you, a lot of actor bits, how to use this in your throughout, and the joys of professional wrestling.
That's right. If you ever wanted just a little taste of professional wrestling, but you weren't ready to commit to the full training, come give us a try. We'll lead you down the road, and who knows, you might be coming with us on the road to wrestling school.
You could be a part of the podcast.
That's right. If you're in the car, you're in the podcast. That's the rule.
That's right. So I'll get off my fraidy cat high horse. I'm never really. It's so weird. I always, and you've said this before, like a lot of things that I come at it with full confidence. Both feet in. and it's time to really strap my boots on, put my big boy pants, put my big boy kilt on, and come at it.
Did you ever get those snaps put in?
No, I've got them though. They're
You've
ready.
got them?
Yeah, it's
All
not
right.
snaps. I've got like hooks, at the back of a bra.
Yeah, because we're sick of seeing things fly off of you.
It doesn't come off.
It rips a little. It doesn't rip, but the Velcro
Yeah,
does.
the Velcro comes out. Yeah, I know.
It concerns me, Hamish. It concerns me.
I know. It concerns me.
You know, I cinched up my furry pants.
I'm very happy with that.
That's right. This week I got my furry pants dry cleaned.
Thank God.
Thank
God. I don't want to have
wasn't
to
cutting it.
I don't
Yeah.
have to Febreze your pants.
Whatever. You can't smell anything.
You're correct. That is
and
absolutely
everyone
correct.
else can.
And I live in constant fear.
So last week I had to be without my furry pants because I thought they were, well, for one, I left them in my car, and for two, I think they were still a little too gross to wear. And you don't want to be a smelly guy in the locker room. Nobody likes the smelly guy in the locker room.
Negative.
Don't be a smelly guy.
Yeah. Have some respect for the people around you and for yourself.
That goes pretty much everywhere, I think,
Yeah.
but especially in the wrestling biz.
Yes, definitely the rest.
When you're in a locker room with a bunch of other sweaty dudes.
Right.
So last week, there weren't a lot of workers there, so John Rambo, our trainer, set up a Royal Rumble style match. There were 6 of us, and one started, 2 of us started. And every 60 seconds, a new wrestler would come out, a la the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And pinfalls would knock you out. And that was fascinating to do. That was always my favorite style of match, was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, for me, who totally screwed the pooch in terms of like the psychology of a match.
Oh yeah, we all kind of screwed it up that first time.
I don't know. Nobody screwed it up like I did. Okay?
You were all right.
Yeah.
Now, we did the whole match. You know, the important thing is knowing when you come in, when you go out, and remembering everything that you have to do, like little spots that you made, who's going out when, how you're going out.
Yeah, the psychology.
And remember the psychology
of setting yourself up for who's coming in next.
Yes.
So
now, okay, we did the whole match.
Yeah.
Paused it. Rambo gave us a page worth of notes.
Really good stuff.
Like really good notes. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Then he sits back down and says, "All right, we're doing it again. Same match."
Yeah, same entrance amount, same exits. You know,
And
everybody, you're coming in the same number, exiting the same number the last time.
And it was amazing. Apparently, according to Rambo, and after watching the tape, I agree with him, it was like night and day.
Yeah.
His notes, we all applied the notes. Everyone improved.
Yeah, a lot of improvement.
And it was a really fun match to do again.
Yeah, it was. That was particularly very fun because we were able to rerun the match, which was like, oh great, now it's time to fix up those things that we messed up. The worst part about it was now, and I wasn't the last one in the ring.
Yeah.
With you two, you and Tremor, who shout out to Tremor, who put us all onto this damn game.
Oh, the stupid basketball game on Facebook Messenger.
He's killing us. God, he's killing us. Also, super great wrestler, super great guy.
Yes.
Put him
he's
over
great.
Except for that basketball game. Damn him.
I'm going to beat your score tonight, Tremor.
I'm never going to do it.
I'm going to do it while driving.
I tried.
I almost did it while driving.
Oh my god.
I got 19. His high score's 20. Anyway.
I almost crashed.
So
anyway,
there we were.
Yeah. So you two are the one. You two are the first in. You're the last out.
Yes.
And I was, so I quickly
I didn't even
followed
realize that till just now. We were the first 2 in and the last 2 there.
Yes.
Thanks, Rambo. That was awesome.
I noticed it immediately. I was like, oh, God, this guy's going to be blown up. I was blown up sky flipping high.
I don't think I've ever seen you sweat that much.
Oh, my God. Yes, I was sweating
and,
like crazy.
not to toot your horn, but you've been working out pretty steadily for the past year and a half.
Yeah,
at least?
I transitioned to weights, so like a lot of the cardio stuff went away, but
you still did a ton of cardio, and you ran a 10K very recently.
10 miles, thank you.
Oh, it was 10 miles?
10K.
I thought it was 10K.
No, 10K is like 6-7 miles.
Yeah, I'm aware of the conversion rate. That's
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
my point is, you still got blown up.
I did. Yeah, I was blown up like crazy.
I mean, I got pretty blown up. I'm not going to say I was not blown up because I very much was.
Yeah, so I was trying, and this was my thoughts in this thing. I was like, okay, don't die during this thing. And by dying, anybody who's not in the wrestling biz means like, don't just sit in the corner and be a turd. Don't die. I was like, don't die. Get up and work somebody. And as soon as I was finished working that person, if somebody got peeled off, boom, work somebody else. Get in there and keep working. Keep working. Keep working. And I was like, don't die. Don't die. And that blew me up.
And rightfully so. I found myself doing the same thing. You know, I'd want to die a little, and I saw on the tape, like, oh, I want to stop and rest there, but I couldn't. I had to keep moving because that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But my problem is I'll get someone in the corner. Inevitably, we end up in the corner because, you know, when you're in a battle Royal Rumble situation, you got 4 other guys in the ring plus you and your opponent. You don't have a lot of room to do big spots. So you end up working the corner, and then I end up just doing forearms to the chest because I'm a face. You know, I'm not going to choke you. I might do some chops. But I'm doing these forearms, and I know I'm laying them in too stiff, and I even get a note about it. But I just don't know what else to do. I got to just find a way to get you out of the corner and work you somewhere else. I mean, you did a great thing. You dropped down, and I could do my running hip, which I love to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, I gotta either come up with more offensive moves in the corner or get you out of the corner. I think, you know, snapmare into the middle would be nice, but there's no room for that sometimes.
Yeah, if you find that you have the space behind you, maybe a suplex, maybe a snap suplex
I didn't
out.
think of that. Why didn't I do that? We had that in our show for a while.
Maybe a snap suplex out. You can always bring them out with a headlock and then march them into the center and try something
That's not bad.
in there.
Yeah, I could just grab your head and move you.
Yeah.
Because you're mine right there.
Yeah, that's
or,
what...
You know, I can do the 10 punches in the corner.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good one.
But punches, I mean, okay, that's the punches I will forgive. Because that's such a spot. That's such a great Lotsie.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a face and you're up there and you're getting the crowd to count with you, they love that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's one thing that if you can kind of rifle those down. That's pretty great.
Sure, and there's a great. I mean, if you're a heel and you're doing that, there's a great spot. I pull you out, drop you into a inverted atomic drop.
Inverted, yeah.
See, I forget about that spot too when I'm in the middle of the ring. Like, oh, that's a great spot to do if you're a face, but I always forget it.
Yeah. I remember to call and that stuff swirls in my head, and I'm like, oh, is this the time? And I'm like, oh, just keep stomping. It'll come to me. It'll come. These cobwebs will break loose.
Of course. There's always going to be trepidation, and we're always going to forget what to do. Because, again, like we've always described, it's daunting to be in that middle of the ring and not know what to do.
Yeah.
Not know exactly what's coming next. And that's why you have to train for so long as a wrestler, just to get that in your body.
Yeah, nothing more fearful to me, and it's getting better. I'm going to tell you, so like the three things that I said to myself that I'm adding in, because I'm always a corner guy. I just work people in the corners. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, got to get these people out of the corner. The first thing is that I rake across the ropes.
Oh, yeah, you've done that to me. That works.
I rake across the ropes. The second thing is just grab their hair and walk them out to the next turnbuckle, and boom, and
you were very stiff with that, but it looked really good.
You're welcome.
You know, rattled my teeth, but it looked amazing.
I'm not actually slamming your head. You understand? You control that, right?
Not that one, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, don't let me hit your face into a turnbuckle.
Look, man, there's certain things I will take hard every time, and that's one of them because that has to look good.
Yeah.
If you don't put your hand in the way, take the hit.
Oh God, yeah.
It's a padding. It's a turnbuckle pad. Take the hit.
Yeah, and the third thing, which is now become my go-to, is grab them by the hair, walk them out like I'm going to walk them to the next corner, and then give them a big back bump, like I just throw their hair down, and then I could work them in the center and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's that has felt like it has freed me from the corner, because I was like, oh, I'll just do a snapmare out of it, and then I was like, when will we do a snapmare then? I'm like Ric Flair and then drop the knee on their face,
right?
Which I'm going to try tonight.
Oh, good.
I'm going to drop the knee on somebody's face.
You know, that was Bruiser Brody's finisher for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, for the short amount of time he was working. I guess he worked 10, 15 years.
Can you imagine? So can you imagine, and I mean this with full sincerity.
Yes.
30 years ago, a DDT was a finisher.
Yes.
And now it's a transition move.
Yeah.
And by transition move, for those of you not in the business, is, now we're, the heel's getting a lot of heat, the heel's beating up on the face. Boom, the face hits a DDT, and now he's on top. Or, the opposite thing happens. It went from, that was Jake the Snake's thing.
Yeah, that was his move.
When he gave his calling card, which was the short arm clothesline, which I'm taking too. Oh, that's happening.
Oh, yeah, that's a great move.
So bad. And you know why I like it so bad?
Why?
Because I'm left-handed.
Ah.
And so that left-hand short-arm clothesline is so fantastic for me. Because it actually, I feel good giving it.
Oh, good.
That right-arm clothesline, I was like, I'm going to kill somebody with
I gave you one last week, but I caught you in the throat. I watched it. I apologize.
You did catch me in the throat.
I sure did.
Better than if you're going to, which has happened before, punch me in the side of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's done that before, and they go to, clothesline me and they punch. And you've done that, too. You were clotheslined
have.
me once and hit me in the...
That was my rolling clothesline.
Yeah, the rolling clothesline punched me in the ear.
Yeah,
and I was
I don't
like,
do that
ow,
anymore.
that hurt. But,
So that'll transition me into my topic for this week. I guess part one of this topic. We're starting later than I thought for this one, but that's okay. You get two parts of this. Part one, finishing moves. Finishers. In the business of wrestling, this is a move which becomes your signature that finishes a match. It doesn't have to be your signature. There's some across the board that's like, okay, if you do this move, that's the end of the match. At least it used to be. Like a pile driver. If anyone did a pile driver in the old days, like, in the early 70s, 60s more, if you did a pile driver, which, everyone knows what a pile driver is.
Everybody knows a pile driver.
If you're listening to this podcast, you know what a pile driver is.
And if you don't, you go to Google.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. If you did that move, that's it. That's the end. Paramedics would come in and they'd check him because you may have, ruptured their spinal cord, snapped it or something.
Oh, yeah, their patella was probably snapped, right?
Exactly, yeah. Obviously, none of that was true. At least you hope it wasn't true.
Yeah, well, it was true for a few wrestlers.
For a few, it was, and that's why pile drivers are illegal. But my point is, a finisher ends a match. And then as you got into the 80s and the 90s and now, people got their own finisher. That was their signature. Hulk Hogan had his leg drop, had his big boot and leg drop.
Right.
And
again, another thing that was a holdover from that old style of, oh my God, he hit that big boot and leg drop. The guy's not going to kick out.
That's right.
Going to kick out.
He can't. That's
right. Can't kick out because Hulk has an amazing boot and leg drop.
Now, when you start there, okay, you got the 80s where they're doing these finishers and that ends a match. Then, as the 90s, as the Attitude Era came around, even probably before then, people started to kick out of finishers.
Right.
And it used to be this great big spot, like, oh my God, he kicked out of the Tombstone Pile Driver. What? Or he kicked out of...
the Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, or he got out of the Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Or, any number of things. And it got this great reaction from the crowd. But I feel like nowadays, that's pretty much par for the course.
Yeah.
Like, finishers don't really matter anymore because everyone's kicking out of them all the time. So are they really finishers anymore?
Right, yeah. It takes 4 of the F5 or whatever to put somebody out. Or,
right.
I've got to put the I got to F5 somebody onto some chairs to finish them or whatever.
Right. Say what you want about Goldberg, but that 3-second, 6-second finish that he had, it finished people.
Right.
Boom, boom, done.
Yeah, I think so. I think because the business has swung from the days where wrestling, this mask of, I think it's real. Is it not real? Is it real? The whole kayfabe days.
Yeah.
To now, the more athletic days.
Yes.
The more showy days that people, they build up that finisher, and then now they're using it as a way to build more heat instead of actually, or build more heat in the match instead of actually building heat.
Right.
And it's an overused gimmick that I think.
I agree. I think it's gone too far down that road and needs to come back to, hey, when I hit this move, it's over.
Right, and the thing that you should be doing, or what I would like to see, would make, and this is my flavor of ice cream of wrestling, is, oh my God, the Undertaker's picking him up for the Tombstone Pile Driver. Oh, he's kicking his legs, not, elbows to the head.
Exactly.
He can't hold him up there. Oh no, okay, he can't finish him. That's not, now we have to keep fighting.
Right, it's not that I've hit you with it and you kick out. It's, you wriggled your way out of it before I could hit it.
Right. Or I can't do the move properly, or whatever it is. Somebody's reversed it into something, and now
it takes all credibility away from even thinking that the move put them out when everyone kicks out of it. I think it's silly.
Yeah. Now I don't. Now if you hit somebody with your finish move, it's like there's a chance they're 50-50, 75, or whatever chance it is.
Now, Hamish, I got to ask you, what's your favorite finisher in all the years of wrestling?
Oh my God!
Because I have an answer.
Well, you put me on the spot here, Joe.
I did. I can answer first if you'd like.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm trying to...
I thought about the first one that popped in my head that I remember that I always love and that I pop for every time I see it, and that's the Stone Cold Stunner.
Oh, yeah?
The beauty of the Stone Cold Stunner, besides the fact it's just a simple move.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really fun to sell, too. It's also my favorite move to take, because selling it, you just bounce and you go head over heel. I will always go head over heels for a stunner. Just for any workers I work with. If you give me a stunner as a finish, I'm going head over heels for you.
I just crumple. I crumple like McMahon. And
I bounce.
And then ride.
I bounce and roll. Anyway, the other beauty of it is more often than not, except for a few matches that I could think of, everyone, when they took it, that was it.
Yeah.
Except for like his matches with The Rock, which, of course, The Rock should kick out of it, because he's equal with Stone Cold in power. But anyway, the other beauty is...
Did you say he's equal with Stone Cold in power?
You know, as far as, like,
he's
watching a show...
He rolled a D20.
They both have over 9,000.
That's right.
Battle power.
Oh, my God. So I have to quickly...
Go ahead.
I have to quickly tell a story. So in this fight school show that I was a part of for a very long time, which was a fight show at the Renaissance Festival, we had a second show which went on and went on and went on. But anyway, there was a part in there where two people were fighting, and they did something where they pretended to shoot fireballs at each other. And I would always go in the show, "Oh my God, Goku, your power is so strong." And at one point, and this happened for years, these two guys who continually came to the show would stand up when I would say that and go, "It's above 9,000!" Oh my God.
I'm so sad that show ended forever.
Yeah, me too. We're going to do it this year.
No, I know you're going to do the original, not the second one.
No,
the second one was a
we're
pile
putting
of crap.
that in there. No, we're putting that in there.
Are you putting it in there?
Yeah, if we're given the stage time, that we're doing as long as they'll give.
Fight School at the Renaissance Festival. When you don't have the internet, go to Fight School. You'll get all the old jokes.
That's right. Yeah.
Back to my point.
Anyway,
the stunner comes out of nowhere is the other reason I love it. It's just a kick, boom, it happens out of nowhere.
It is. Yeah, it's fast.
It's fast, and that's why I love it. And
is
Stone Cold
fast.
was amazing. I'll pop for it every time.
Yeah. So all right. So
Which is to cheer, if anyone doesn't know what popping means.
Yeah, you gave me the time to think of one, and this is the same sort of thing. Every time I see it at Pop, I'm like crazy for it. It's the Shawn Michaels Superkick.
Yes.
I don't, he had that big calling card of tuning up the band and boom, boom, boom. He's
Stomping in the corner before he kicks,
there.
yeah.
And it would it could come out of nowhere. He could kick somebody off the top. He was very athletic, so he could do that.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess it's really hard to say though, Joe. I mean, yeah, I guess Superkick is probably is my favorite.
Sweet chin music, man.
Yeah,
it was
sweet chin music.
I mean,
not
the other beauty
Superkick.
of it is, he, as opposed to the stunner, which comes out of nowhere, which I love. This is the opposite, but just as good. He's letting the crowd in. He's giving his calling card. This is coming now. This is coming. And everyone gets a chance to get pumped up for that. If he's about to hit a friend, which is my favorite moment that we've played with a lot. I'm so sorry. He's tuning up the band.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. I'm going to do this to you.
That's right. Looking at him, apologizing. I guess this second finisher that I really rank. I have like a ranking.
Yeah, I know.
We might have to do
this
that.
This is where there's a part 2 coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
When Ryan's back, we'll ask him too.
Yeah. Well, and then I'll be
or Big Bear Roy Gillette.
I'll
whatever.
be. Yeah, way to go, God.
Whatever. We called him Ryan throughout the entire
I know.
podcast.
We even gave
We're
his
like, it's Big Bear Roy Gillette. Hey, Ryan.
We even gave his FetLife account name.
Well,
too,
he gave it to
he
us.
has no problem with that.
Yeah, he didn't have to tell us that, but now he did. Now it's the title of the last episode.
That is. So the second, I guess, and I don't know how you rank these things, but, in the top 5 would be the perfect plex.
Yeah.
Which is just a fisherman suplex.
It's a very good move, though.
But it was so great for that guy. Which is a move that I love to give, but again, I get so nervous to be like, all right, fisherman suplex.
Right.
Is somebody going to go, no? What are you, nuts?
Yeah, that's the thing. You see, Rambo always tells us, and rightfully so, don't do moves that he hasn't taught us. But he's got a lot more faith in us, and he knows we've trained before. So if we attempt, he knows we do a good suplex. So if we tried a fisherman suplex, he'd probably go, oh, that looked good, fix this and this about it. He wouldn't get angry with us because we tried something that he didn't teach us, or get annoyed, or really chastise us too much. He would just give us pointers. But we still have that feeling in our head of, ooh, we shouldn't do this because we haven't learned it here.
You should figure out your favorite tag team finisher.
We'll save that for next week. That'll be really good.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
I got to think about that.
There's not a lot.
There's
of
not a
them out
lot, but
there.
there's some good ones.
Yeah, there are some really
now,
good ones. Now,
hashtag. Do you have a finisher?
No, I don't.
You don't? You
I
have
don't.
that kick in the corner.
My finish is the job.
The
That's
job.
what it is.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
I have a finisher.
You do?
I have. It's called the Bear Trap.
It's so awesome.
It's,
and it has a calling card.
It does. Yeah, I have my bulldog, my front-faced bulldog from the corner. And then, I get the crowd going, yelling, trap, trap, trap. The trap is set. I don't know. I got to figure out what that's going to be.
Yeah,
and then it's, what's the official... Because you gave this to me. It's the Buffalo's...
It's a Buffalo stretch.
The Buffalo stretch, which is a great move that I don't see very often. It's a good submission, and it looks really like a bear trap.
Yeah,
so it makes me happy.
And it hurts like the Dickens. I'll attest to that.
And now, while I love the stunner, I also love a good submission finisher. Because, it's cool. You don't see people losing to that a lot. And remember, It's wrestling. So, yeah, there should be a submission hold that puts someone out. So I like that. It makes me more wrestlery.
You know what?
Less brawlery.
And I will tell. Off the top of my head, I can give you my favorite submission finish: the crossface crippler, the crippler crossface. If I could
call it the Rings of Saturn, because Benoit does not get that anymore. And on that note, we are almost at the House of Pain, Neil Superior Professional Wrestling Training Center.
locking in the Rings of Saturn as we speak.
In beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. So we're going to tap out and get to learning and get to training. So for me, Grizzly Joe Grasso.
And hashtag Hamish Stewart.
Remember, subscribe to us on iTunes, rate, review, tell your friends. That's what keeps this going. Let's build this audience up so we can keep doing this for years to come. Also, check us out on Kickstarter. We have a Kickstarter.
Yay!
We forgot to mention that. Go check us out there.
We should really.
We probably should mention that. Yeah, we really should. But hey, there's always a next time.
If you've made it all the way to this time,
if you made it here,
you're definitely going to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, now you'll go to the Kickstarter because you love us. Well, hey, we're out of here. So keep the faith, brothers. We'll see you down the road in the ring.
That ending sounds good. I like that.